The Simulation Lab, or Sim Lab, is designed to give students a hands-on clinical experience in a preclinical setting. Each station is equipped with a fully functioning dental unit and storage locker. When you are scheduled to be in the Sim Lab, you must wear your scrub, tops, and bottoms, and remember, having food and drink within the lab is prohibited. Before powering on the simulation unit, pull the operating cart out to the final location. Once powered on, the cart will hydraulically lock itself in place. Locate the power toggle switch under the right edge of the unit by the water bottle. Note that the Cavitron Quick Disconnect is located to the left of the master. Once powered on, you will hear the unit lock itself into place, and you will not be able to relocate the cart without powering the unit off. Next, raise the mannequin torso by pressing the button located on the left side of the chest. Now you can recline the torso by pressing the button located on the right side of the chest. Each unit is equipped with its own water supply and waste container. Before each use, ensure the water bottle has been filled by water from the reverse osmosis unit located at the back of the lab. At the beginning of each lab session, have a look at the waste container to ensure it has been emptied. Failure to do so can result in damage and flooding of the unit. The foot pedal can be removed from the base and placed on the floor. The unit is equipped with two arms, one for suction and one for your handpieces. Both should be unfolded after the torso has been raised. Place the appropriate tips on each suction line. As this is a preclinical lab, undamaged tips can be saved for future visits. Extending off the torso on your sim unit, there's a retraction arm with suction. The high volume evacuation line should be hooked up to this retraction arm. A low volume suction tip should be attached to the other end. This arm can be positioned to help suction excess water from the back of your typodont's oral cavity. Your high and low speed handpieces can now be attached. The high speed coupler should already be attached to your unit. Carefully push the handpiece onto the coupler. The slow speed motor will need to be attached. Line up the large and small holes and tighten the metal sleeve over the base of the motor. Once the motor is attached, the slow speed handpiece can be pushed into place. In your kit, you have access to two slow-speed handpiece attachments. The first is a friction grip. It has the smaller burr hole, and the second is a latch. It has the larger burr hole. The burrs used for these handpieces are not interchangeable. You'll notice one burr has a notch at the end. That is the burr that is only used in the latch head. The other burr with a straight shank can be used in both friction grip slow speed and high speed. Your slow speed motor has two settings, forward and reverse. To get the maximum RPMs out of your slow speed handpiece, ensure the notch is lined up with the F for forward. The nose cone attachment is placed on the motor in the same fashion as the other attachments. The burr is inserted through the opening and the shank is twisted until you feel two clicks. This ensures the burr is locked safely into place. To take the burr out of the nose cone, turn the shank in the opposite direction, feel for two clicks, and remove the burr. To place a burr in the slow speed friction grip, push the button on the back of the handpiece head and insert the burr. Turn the burr and pull at it to check it's securely locked in place. To remove a burr, the same is done. Push the button firmly on the back of the handpiece and pull the burr out. The latch head attachment works in a very similar fashion. The push button must be used to insert the burr. However, it is important you only use a latch head burr. The notched end of the burr will fit into the handpiece in a lock and key fashion. To remove the burr, simply push on the back of the handpiece and remove the burr. The air-water syringe tip has two buttons, an air button and a water button. When both are pressed together, a fine mist will be created. There are two types of operator chairs available, a short cylinder and a normal cylinder. The main difference between the two is the maximum height the chair can be raised to. When working, proper posture and ergonomics are extremely important. When choosing a chair, it is important to pick one that can be adjusted so your hips are parallel to the floor and your knee is at a 90-degree angle. Using the lever closest to the front of the chair, raise or lower the chair to achieve this posture. The posterior lever is used to place a slight tilt in the seat of the chair. Adjust this so you have a slightly forward tilt. The back support can be adjusted up or down by loosening the screw and raising the support up or down so it sits at the small of your back. Before attaching your typodont to the simulation unit, locate the hole in the back of the pink cheek cover and insert a low-volume suction tip. Gently slide the suction tube until you are almost near the end of the tip. Locate the two holes on the top of the typodont. These two holes will line up with pins on the maxillary plate in your sim unit. You should feel the typodont snap into place as the magnet engages. You will need to adjust the height of the mandible by turning the black knob and sliding the chin cup downwards. The front of the mandible should fall just within the edges of the chin cup. Next, the face shield needs to be attached by locating the holes and gently pushing them over the pegs located on the mannequin head. Using the lever located on the right-hand side, you can reposition your mannequin's head. Loosen it and turn the mannequin's head into the desired position. If the lever is in an awkward position, it can be pulled out slightly and turned to relocate it. And finally, you need to attach the unit suction onto the typodont. Do this by inserting the tubing onto the suction tip you installed earlier. When you are finished for the day and want to remove your typodont, gently remove the face covering from the mannequin head. Disconnect the unit suction hose from the suction tip located in your typodont head. Open the top of the mannequin head to reveal the release button to separate your typodont from the mannequin head. Push on this and gently remove your typodont. To control the power and intensity of the overhead task light, locate the light bulb button on the control panel. Pressing this button will toggle between on, off, as well as various light intensities and a yellow composite safety light. The foot pedal has two switches. The gray one toggles water spray for the high-speed handpiece, and the black one toggles the high-volume vacuum line. Pushing them towards the colored dot will ensure the function is on. On the right side of the unit, you will note some knobs that control air and water for your high-speed handpiece. Do not turn the knob all the way to the left, as this could result in the knob detaching from the unit. On the far left, you'll see the control for air, and on the right, the knob will control water. You will require a mixture of both air and water to get the correct mist from the handpiece. The hangers for the suction and handpieces can be adjusted by gently pulling and twisting. At the end of your lab session, you will have to return your sim unit to its under-counter position. Begin by removing your handpieces and suction tips. To remove your high-speed handpiece, gently pull down on the metal sleeve to release the handpiece from the coupler. The slow speed can be detached by pulling it firmly from the motor and then unscrewing the motor from the line. With the low-volume suction positioned at the back of the throat, rinse out the oral cavity with half a liter of water. Fold in the suction and handpiece arms and place the foot pedal back on the unit base. Using the buttons located on the chest, the torso can be folded upwards and pushed down into place. Always ensure that the waste bottle has been emptied and securely screwed back into the unit. Once the torso has been lowered, the unit can be shut off and wheeled underneath the counter. At the end of each lab session, it is the student's responsibility to clean up their own work area. Return all student-owned equipment to assigned drawers or lockers. Put all unused faculty-provided supplies and equipment back where they belong. Dispose of garbage and sharps to appropriate containers and clean all common areas in the lab. Failure to do so could result in suspension of preclinical privileges.